Hey guys, I am here with Nathan Hirsch of FreeeUp. Nathan's the CEO of FreeeUp, and he's been an entrepreneur for over 9 years. And his online businesses have done more than $30 million in revenue. Nathan, how's it going?
Going great, man. How are you?
All good, man. All good. Yeah, I'm excited to get on the on this call with you because I really think that a lot of our audience who are primarily Amazon sellers can benefit a lot from FreeeUp. So can you, just to get started, can you talk a little bit about, why you started FreeeUp and, how it's evolved since then?
Yeah, I mean, I was a big Amazon seller back in the day, and I got into it when I was 20, 21. It was pretty tough to hire people back then. So I got thrown into the remote hiring world, the Upworks, the Fivers, and I always just wanted a better, faster way. I didn't want to post a job and go through 50 people. So 3 years ago, I created my own marketplace, and I really took everything that I liked about those platforms and tweaked and changed everything that I didn't like. So we get thousands of applicants every week, virtual assistants, freelancers, agencies from all over the world, from 5 to 100 plus per hour, fixed prices too. We vet them for skill, attitude, communication. Top 1% get in, and then we make them available to clients quickly whenever they need them. It's free to sign up. There's no monthly fees. You only pay for the work that you do. On the back end, 24/7 support in case you have even the smallest issue, and a no turnover guarantee. If they quit for any reason, we cover replacement costs and get them a new person right away. So that's really what we're all about: the pre-vetting, the speed, the customer service, and the protection. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun just being able to work with different people in Amazon and e-commerce and marketing and really help them scale their business by getting access to talent faster.
You had an Amazon business, at different levels, hitting 500,000, 1 million, 5 million, and on and on. There's different challenges you face in regards to scaling. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, and I actually think I went through it the wrong way. And I think a lot of Amazon sellers, they're very focused on the followers early on. So I like to say that there's 3 different levels of people that you can hire. You've got basic, mid, and expert. So basic level, think virtual assistant, non-US, $5 to $10 an hour. They might have years of experience, but they're there to follow your systems, your processes. Then you got the mid-level specialists. They do the same thing every day. Maybe it's writing listings or graphic design or bookkeeping. And you're not teaching someone to be a graphic designer, but they're not consulting with you either. They're doers. And then you got the experts, the 25 and up, high-level freelancers, consultants, agencies that bring their own strategy, their own expertise to the table. Now, keep in mind when I started, there was no Amazon PPC, there was no Facebook ads. So a lot of that stuff didn't exist, but I was very focused on the basic level. I thought I knew how to do everything. I just need people to follow my directions. And it was effective, but it would have been a lot more effective if I had plugged in the mid and the expert level people from the beginning, getting an Amazon expert who was there if any of my listings got removed by Amazon, or getting people that really understood listing to rank my products even higher. So it was one less thing I had to deal with. And now we live at a time where you want to grow your brand, you need social media, you need marketing. So you can't do everything. You don't have a system and process for everything. And I think a lot of people make that mistake of just hiring followers. It wasn't until years later when I had this meeting with my business partner and we were kind of running in circles a little bit, and we sat down and we said, let's write down everything we're not good at. And once we had that list, we started hiring specialists and experts to turn those weaknesses into strengths. And I think that's a big part of hiring that people overlook. We live in the time where you can hire people from the Philippines for less than $10 an hour, which is great for some parts of your business, but you need the high level people too if you really want to scale.
That's a difficult, undertaking. Listen down all your weaknesses and then having to hire someone to do that, as opposed to, you're just making the processes all the time and plugging people in to actually get someone to make the processes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't learn how to do everything. I mean, I'm a reasonably smart person. I could spend the next 6 months learning how to be a Facebook ad expert, but as the CEO of my company, is that a good use of my time? And I can't do that for every little part of my business. So at some point, you have to figure out what is worth me mastering, what's my core competency, and everything else you got to really hire for.
So FreeeUp has the low level, mid level, and the expert correct?
Yeah, we have some of the best Amazon experts out there that you can hire to audit your business. You can hire them to run your account every month. You can hire them to just be on call if something goes wrong or you need some advice. So it's kind of the beauty of the gig economy. You have this flexibility to hire people. You can have 5 people full-time in the Philippines. You can have an expert running it every month. You can hire people part-time, project-based that you go to. So you can really structure it however you want.
Now, what would you say to someone who has, hired a few virtual assistants and it didn't work out and they're doing everything on their own?
Yeah, I mean, hiring's hard, right? No one has a 100% hiring record, but it's one of those things that if you want to scale your business, eventually you're going to have to hire people. There's very few $5 million a year solo entrepreneurs out there. And
right.
If you did make a bad hire or something didn't go the way you wanted, focus on what you can control. There's so many things you can't control, the personal issues, someone taking another job off or whatever it is. Focus on what you can control. And that's where you get your people from, how you vet them, how you set expectations, how you treat them, how you communicate. And if you continue to focus on the things that you can control and improving those processes, you'll slowly see your turnover percentage get lower and lower and lower and having better hiring experiences. And that's really what you have to be focused on as an entrepreneur. And I don't know why this comes into play in hiring so much. It's not like you run some bad PPC campaigns and you're like, oh, I'm never going to run PPC again because I messed up. But for some reason in hiring, entrepreneurs tend to do that. And you really have to overcome that if you want to succeed.
So it's a skill like everything else. And just because you're probably not going to be good at it in the beginning.
Yeah, and you can learn a lot. I mean, one of the best things I did back in the day is I asked people for feedback. I said, how can I improve my managerial style, my leadership? How can I communicate better? What can I do to help you succeed? What do your other clients do? Because freelancers have different clients. Tell me about your best client. How do they communicate? And really just gathering all that information, because once you have that information, you can decide what you want to do with it. You don't have to implement every little thing, but without that information, it makes it very hard to improve.
That's a nice bridge. I was going to ask, what are some commonalities that you see between with successful hiring, contract work, freelance work? And it sounds like a lot of it is on very clear communications, expectations, feedback.
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake people make is not setting expectations in writing right from the beginning. This is how we communicate. This is what constitutes success or failure. If you hire someone for a project, this is what the project includes. This is what it does not include. This is when we have meetings. This is when milestones are due, and not just a due date, but a due time as well, because people are in different time zones. The more black and white you make it up front, the more time up front you spend setting those expectations, the better percentage of having a good experience will be, but also it saves you a lot of time down the line. So spend that extra time whenever you start with someone, really setting those expectations and getting on the same page.
Is there anything like Amazon specific that would be useful to know for people based on your experiences?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things you can hire people for Amazon for. I mean, stuff like getting refunds from Amazon on lost shipments, or customer service, where I see a lot of people just doing the same thing over and over, the e-commerce bookkeeping. There's just so many small things that kind of fall into overall business, but also are Amazon specific. So I would really focus on figuring out, what are you the best at? I mean, I work with a lot of Amazon sellers, and some of them are really good at sourcing. And for the first 5 years of their business, they should really focus on sourcing. Other people are really good at listing products, or are really good at running campaigns, or are good at product launches. Whatever that is, figure that out. And once you know what you're good at and what you should be doing, at least for the first few years of your business, that makes it easier to hire the people around you that really complement you and help you grow.
How do you see the hiring and freelance landscape changing?
It's only going up. They predict in the next 10 years, over 50% of the workforce is going to be remote. And if you're not taking advantage of that as an entrepreneur and the flexibility that it brings, you're really missing out, and your competitors are. So I think it's going more and more in that direction. You don't need an office right now to start a business, to start an e-commerce business. There's always going to be roles that you need, like warehouse staff, or if you have a brick and mortar store, you need someone there, but so much can get done remote. And I think we've proven now after years that having someone just work 9 hours straight isn't necessarily the most productive way to run a business. And by
Yeah.
letting people work from home in their pajamas or work nights if they're a night owl and they like staying up, or splitting it up and taking other client projects in between. There's a lot of really good ways to make people more productive and more effective. And you as an entrepreneur get to figure that out.
As you know, I'm in Vietnam across the world right now. It's the evening and you're over there in the States and it's the morning. So it's amazing how we can do that now.
Exactly.
Well, cool, man. Anything else you think would be important for Amazon sellers to know?
Yeah, well, I really appreciate you having me on. Anyone that goes to freeup.com with 3 E's, my calendar's right at the top. If anyone wants to book a call with me, happy to talk about your business and how we can help. Mention this recording, get a free $25 credit to try us out. And yeah, we look forward to helping you scale your business.